All right, group, welcome. Today is a wonderful day in that my Wildfire Ember Suppression sprinklers have arrived from Amazon. It's a mouthful, say that 3 times fast. Wildfire Ember Suppression sprinklers. So if you can't tell, I live up here in the hilltops here, just recently moved, and I am in wildfire territory here in Southern California. So first order of business is actually to get these suppression sprinklers up on the roof as quickly as possible and make sure that we are creating, in the event of a SHTF wildfire situation, that we are creating a scenario or a situation of a microenvironment that has cooler air, that's moist, and will hopefully do its part in suppressing any wildfires. Now, important note that if it's coming up a direct path of the hill, chances are that these sprinklers aren't going to do much. We can hope and we can pray, we can cross our fingers that we've done the best we can. But really what they're designed for, what I'm hoping for, is in a wildfire situation, typically you have high winds. And as the fire gains more momentum, the fire itself, as it's sucking in oxygen and fuel, creates its own wind. And what happens is you have these firestorms or these vortexes that kick up embers up into the sky, and those embers can drift 1 mile to 2 miles and end up landing on, a roof, an old wooden deck, something along those lines, and then kick up another fire. So it's really challenging in that regard. And there's certain steps we can do to be proactive to avoid those situations, or at least help mitigate them. Nothing's 100%. But what we can do to prepare, prevent, stay safe, the more we can do, the better, because, like we say, better safe than sorry. So with that said, we have 2 different fire sprinklers, or type of fire sprinklers here. I got in the big box here the Iron Owl. This is the big boy. This one was, about $150 at the time of this recording. It was $150 on Amazon. And then I have a smaller one called Rooftop Sprinkler for Wildfire. And this has come from a company called SprinkleRoof. So we have SprinkleRoof, Rooftop Sprinkler for Wildfire, and the good old Iron Owl. I'm excited to unbox the Iron Owl, but I'm going to start with the smaller one first. And let's talk about first impressions, what we're looking at. So the SprinkleRoof Rooftop Sprinkler for Wildfire, it doesn't give you any particulars in regard to how many pounds per square inch, or how many gallons per minute this ultimately will push out. It does give you a surface area of 3,300 square feet in terms of a perimeter, so, I guess that's kind of helpful. And initial impressions are it packs away kind of neat. So in the non-fire season, or the snow season, we could essentially pack these away nice and neat. And I do like this stand. I like the convenience of use. You'll see here, pretty decent base. Overall, it's not very heavy, which I would be concerned about in the event of some high winds kicking up and then just basically knocking it over and you have a sprinkler spraying on itself. So definitely want to take some strategies to mount this. Fussing with this. Okay. Well, so here's a way to tighten and to adjust. This one really is a no-brainer. It's pretty simple. This one was very cost-effective. These, I actually got 2 of them, were at the time of ordering somewhere around $40, $45, about $42. And one key feature about this, and you'll see here on the nozzles, is that you have the inlet for the hose here on this side, and then on the other side you have a stop or a plug that actually will come out, and then you can attach another hose to this and then ultimately daisy chain these depending on how many outlets, how many hoses you have, or how much water pressure you have available to you. So that's kind of a nice feature to be able to daisy chain it. So weight on this, the stats show that this is, look at my notes here, is about 3.1, 3.2 pounds. So it's not overly heavy. I have some plans for this one, but this is not going to be my primary line of defense. But for a good, cost-effective, entry-level line of defense without plugging it in and actually seeing it spray, it was certainly worth a shot at the price. So this was a good starting point, if you will. All right, so let's talk about the big boy, the Iron Owl. So I'm going to go ahead and open this one, and I'm actually excited to take a look at this one. This one is, yes, I'm cutting towards myself, but slowly. This one is, like I said, $150 at the time of ordering, $152, something along those lines. First impression, this thing's heavy. Shaking the whole table, shaking the screen. This one is heavy, and the weight on this right out the box is 12 and a half, 13 pounds. So this one has some beef to it. And you're going to see, I hope, it doesn't appear that it's fully assembled, so there's going to be some assembly required to this. And what I saw in the description and what I read is that there were concrete legs. So it's basically, I'm guessing, plastic or PVC filled with concrete, and that gives it some weight. And that's actually really, really nice. So we have a, let's see here, hardware box. Sounds like Christmas. And then we have what appears to be 4 cylinders. If I was a betting man, I would bet that these are the legs. So let's take a look here. So we got 4 of those. We have some paperwork. So let's take a look at what we have in regard to paperwork. Oh, this is nice. So Iron Owl rooftop sprinkler, brass sprinkler head, solid metal body, built to last, it says. So it gives you a little description, and it gives you the Rainbird. Looks like they just ripped this off the sprinkler and included it in the packaging, so you can know how much your spray distance is and essentially which model number you have, and also the instructions on how to adjust it in various items. So that's actually pretty nice and pretty helpful. Taking a look at the literature that's here, gives you some installation instructions. Not sure if you can see this here, but it actually gives you some diagrams on where to place it on the roof. This is actually pretty helpful. I'll read through this at a later date. One key thing, and I did see this online in doing some research, and it's also in the literature here, is what kind of hose is recommended. Now, my initial thought was I was going to get a steel braided line or something along those lines that would, hold up more to the elements as it sat on the roof during fire season. But it recommends an industrial grade or hot water hose with an inside diameter of 3/4 of an inch or 5/8 of an inch is suggested. Using a hose with a smaller inside diameter may reduce water flow. What I found out when I was going to get not the steel braided, I guess it's steel braided, but the ones that have the steel on the outside to protect from the elements, is that those are usually a little bit smaller. They're about a 1/2 inch in diameter. So in a situation where we want to suppress as much water as quickly as possible over a surface area, the more diameter, the better. So let's take a look at, I think these are the legs, and yep, here's the sprinkler. So I opted for the gray because it's kind of a composite gray roof, and kind of wanted it to blend in a little bit. And let's take a look here. So we've got some steel piping here, so it's not PVC. It's got some weight to it, so it's pretty hefty. Same situation as the other one. We have the hose adapter here where we adapt the hose, and then on the other end we have the portion that comes off so that we can daisy chain this. So this is actually really nice. It's a big beefy head. It's got the name on it right there, Iron Owl. So pretty substantial. As far as perimeter area and what this is pushing out, this one looks to be about 50 pounds per square inch and about 5 gallons per minute. So this bad boy is going to actually lay down some water. And again, it's 12 to 13 pounds. A note on reviews on this one on Amazon, it was 4.5 stars out of 5, and there were 51 reviews. So not a ton of reviews, but a fair amount of reviews given the limited demographic that's ordering these, and such a high rating. So I'm excited to see what this has to do. Let's take a look at the legs here. Okay, so a little concrete falling out of the package here. So it is, in fact, not sure if you can see that, it does have some concrete set in what appears to be a heavy-duty PVC plastic. In a wildfire situation, would I worry about this melting? Fire gets that close and the heat gets that close, I got bigger problems to worry about than this melting, and it's concrete on the inside, so I think it's satisfactory to go. looks like there is a screw coming out of the end here, and I'm going to break my glass table. Looks like, let's take a look here. Opening up the hardware box to see what we got in here. This is the one that sounds like Christmas. A little bit of jingle bells here. All right, let's take a look. All right, well, this is straightforward. Looks like as far as tools and what is needed, we have these clamps here that I presume are going to go around the body of the sprinkler. Pretty straightforward. Let's take a look here. Yeah, so these will go over around the body here. We'll just tighten these down, and then each one of these is going to screw into here. Voila. So once this is mounted to the body, obviously adjust it, we can tighten it, and then these legs will go at different angles, and we'll be able to put them on the roof depending on the pitch. I have a really pitched roof. I'm terrible at geometry and angles, but it's definitely something I don't want to fall off of, so it'll be fun putting these up. So we can definitely adjust the pitch to the roof, and with all four of these combined, we're going to look at about 15 pounds of weight. So these could probably sit up on your roof. They're low profile enough, shouldn't catch too much wind drag, and with this weight, should be able to sustain some decent winds. So with that said, that's the initial unboxing, my initial impression. I'm gonna strap these bad boys on the roof this weekend. Looking forward to that. I'll do a follow-up video showing how much water these are actually laying down. I'm on a slope here. I have neighbors on either side, and although they're probably not going to appreciate my testing this weekend because I'll be spraying some water over on their property, they may appreciate it in a wildfire situation. I actually ordered 2 of the Iron Owls and then 2 of these smaller ones, which I always forget the name. They're the SprinkleRoof, and these are rooftop sprinklers for wildfire. I'm actually not going to put these on my roof. I'm going to put the Iron Owl on the roof, 2 of them on the roof, and then because this deck is overlooking a hillside that goes down, fire will typically burn up. I want to suppress this area, and I want to saturate the deck that I'm actually recording this on. So these are actually going to be mounted on here and at the other end of the deck as well. So I'll have 2 on the roof, 2 here. Each one of these covers about 3,300 square feet. My lot is not anywhere near that, so might be bringing too many sprinklers to the party and probably don't have the water supply or the water pressure to power all of them. So I'm going to push the Iron Owls first and see if these can come secondary. If I can't use all 4 of them, that's fine. I will donate them to my neighbors on either side, help them get set up, and then we'll just create this whole wet environment in our little valley here. So look forward to the next video of getting these set up and laying down some water and seeing what they look like. So thanks everybody. Have a wonderful day, and as always, be safe.